Diocesan bishop. The diocesan bishop, often called the ordinary, is the basic and original form of a bishop. From the earliest days of Christianity, each local Christian community was led by one bishop. This bishop presided over the Eucharist, guarded doctrine, and kept the community united. In the 2nd and 3rd centuries, writers like Ignatius of Antioch already spoke of the bishop as the visible center of the local church. Over time, as Christianity spread, these communities became what we now call dioceses. A diocesan bishop has full pastoral responsibility for a defined territory. He governs the diocese in his own name, not as a representative of someone else. He ordains priests, confirms the faithful, oversees parishes, appoints pastors, and ensures church teaching is faithfully handed on. The word ordinary does not mean common. It comes from canon law and simply means someone who has ordinary authority that belongs to the office itself, not authority borrowed or delegated. This role goes directly back to the early church. Every other type of bishop exists to support, assist, or structure this original office. Auxiliary bishop. As dioceses grew larger, one bishop was often not enough to handle everything. This became especially clear in large cities, pilgrimage centers, and mission territories. That's where the auxiliary bishop comes in. An auxiliary bishop is appointed to assist a diocesan bishop, but he does not replace him. He has no automatic right to succeed the diocesan bishop. His authority depends on what the diocesan bishop assigns to him. Historically, auxiliary bishops became common in the Middle Ages. Cities expanded. Travel was slow. Bishops were expected to be everywhere at once, confirming, ordaining, visiting parishes, resolving disputes. Auxiliary bishops helped carry that weight. An auxiliary bishop is a real bishop in every sacramental sense. He can ordain, confirm, and even govern parts of the diocese when delegated. But he does not govern the diocese on his own. Think of him as support, not backup. Presence, not replacement. Coadjutor bishop. A coadjutor bishop is different from an auxiliary bishop in one key way. He has the right of succession. This role developed when the church needed stability during transitions. For example, when a diocesan bishop was elderly, seriously ill, or leading a very large or complex diocese, Rome might appoint a coadjutor to help and to prepare. A coadjutor bishop assists the diocesan bishop much like an auxiliary does. But when the diocesan bishop retires or dies, the coadjutor automatically becomes the new diocesan bishop. No election, no delay, no uncertainty. This prevents confusion and power struggles. It also allows the faithful to experience continuity rather than disruption. Historically, this role became more clearly defined as church governance became more structured, especially in the modern period when dioceses became larger and more administratively complex. Titular bishop. The title titular bishop often confuses people, especially when they hear a bishop assigned to a place they've never heard of. In the early centuries, many dioceses existed in places that later disappeared due to war, persecution, population shifts, or the spread of Islam. Cities in North Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Asia once had thriving Christian communities and bishops. Many no longer do. Rather than let those ancient sees vanish completely, the Church kept their names alive. Bishops who do not govern an active diocese are assigned one of these ancient titles. So a titular bishop holds the title of a historic diocese that no longer functions. Most auxiliary bishops, Vatican officials, and papal diplomats are titular bishops. They are real bishops, fully ordained, but their role is not tied to governing a living diocese. This practice preserves historical memory. It also allows bishops to serve where they are needed without creating new dioceses that don't make sense pastorally. Archbishop. An archbishop is a bishop with additional responsibility, not a higher sacrament. In the early church, certain cities naturally stood out. Some were capitals. Some were ancient centers of Christianity. Some had apostolic roots. The bishops of these cities carried greater influence simply because of their location and history. Over time, these sees were formally recognized. An archbishop usually leads an archdiocese, often an important or historic diocese. Some archbishops also serve as metropolitans, meaning they have limited oversight over nearby dioceses called suffragan dioceses. This oversight is not about control. It's about coordination, accountability, and unity, especially when problems arise. Not all archbishops are metropolitans, and not all influential bishops are archbishops. The title reflects structure and history more than power. Sacramentally, an archbishop is no more a bishop than any other bishop. There is no extra degree of ordination. The difference is administrative and symbolic, not spiritual rank.